I thought you said you was taking a break from anime games. What happened now? Are you stuck in the Genjutsu? I thought you said you were going to leave anime games alone. Well, you gotta review Kakarot now. Everybody want to be a Super Saiyan, but you ain't saying all that when you was talking about dropping that review Friday. Why is it Monday and the review still ain't out? Get up. Yeah. You in the bed sleep, but Goku never sleeps.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
None of this makes sense to me.
Let's start off here. When it came to mini old school anime from the early 90s, 80s, whatever, Dragon Ball Z was a series that actually made me start liking that type of medium. Hearing Rock the Dragon elevated me to another plane of being and also falling in love with anime. However, after experiencing more anime around the mid 2000s growing up, I fell in love with Naruto more so than I ever did with Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z though is one of those series that deserves the respect for what it has done to the industry and how it's evolved Shonen Jump and so many more anime. Without Dragon Ball, where would we be now? So if you still didn't get the memo, Dragon Ball Z was not one of my top 5 favorite anime series, but I generally do love it and respect it for all it's done. But this maybe have changed with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I know this is a very controversial game among fans of DBZ, and today I'm going to give you my honest review on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and how I feel about everything in the game. That being said, if you guys like the review, consider subscribing for all things anime games, fighting games, and you know, I dabble in a little RPGs here and there, so come talk to me. Yeah, join my Discord. Ask me questions and play games with your boy. We're going to have tournaments soon, and you know, your boy be lonely sometimes, but enough of all that, let's get right into the review. Story. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot story covers all the major arcs of the DBZ storyline. Those major arcs include the Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, and Majin Buu Saga. Honestly, this is how I mentioned earlier that DBZ Kakarot made me love Dragon Ball Z again. However though, there are some flaws. The storyline of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is very condensed, and in some parts are missing pivotal action scenes. For example, Final Flash scene is not in the game when he does it for the first time, and Goku vs Majin Vegeta was just beautiful slideshows. Regardless of the stuff that's missing, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has one of the best storytelling experiences out of many anime games and Dragon Ball games period. Something that I really liked about Kakarot is the intermission sections of the game. These usually occur at the end of each saga. Kakarot lets you interact with cool characters and do side quests without accidentally progressing the story. This is cool because most action RPGs don't really give you a break to do other things. I usually have this problem that I like to call lost in sense of progression. There are moments in games where I want to grind, but I also want to progress the story, and Kakarot actually balances that story experience as well. Kakarot actually does that after each saga and makes me want to explore the world of DBZ. The side quests in the game can add to the story experience as well. If you really love DBZ lore, the dialogue and interactions between the characters are all golden. You don't only interact with Z characters, but you also run across characters from the OG Dragon Ball. Some side quests, depending on where you are in the story, can reference filler-like episodes from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, while other side quests are based upon where you currently are in Dragon Ball Z's Kakarot story mode. Cool example of this was when I was training the Majin Buu arc as Gohan, I was training with Supreme Kai. Thus, with Supreme Kai, he gave me a side quest to fight a holographic Frieza to get stronger. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a very good viewing experience for hardcore fans that haven't watched or indulged into any of the original source material, either it being the DBZ manga or the anime for years. I also highly recommend using Dragon Ball Z Kakarot as a source to help getting new people into the anime, because the animation, the fight scenes, and everything is so pretty, it will hook you and you will start getting attached to various DBZ characters again. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I used to find Gotenks annoying, but now I just think he one of the rawest characters ever. Alright, that was kind of corny how I said that, but just know Gotenks is kind of fire. Problem with the story mode is Kakarot does miss its mark on some action scenes, but the story is all there and very cohesive to play through. It's like a mixture of like OG Dragon Ball Z with all the content that the story has to offer with canon versus filler, but also feel like I'm watching Kai because everything is easy to understand and not really feeling drawn out. I couldn't even be more happy with this game at that point. One thing I truly love about the story content of DBZ Kakarot is the intro to each saga. It hits me so hard nostalgically and you can't avoid it. It is so unavoidable, you're gonna be hurt by this. The feeling of being 6 to 7 years old watching next time on Dragon Ball Z, yes, that is in this game by the way. Kakarot does a montage version of this before each arc and it's so good. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's gameplay is something very linear on the surface, but also has a huge area to evolve and master while progressing through the game. Yeah, you can literally just quote unquote mash circle to win, but it only makes the game a lot harder and generally makes fights way more difficult playing like that. So if you heard someone say this about DBZ Kakarot, just know it's a weird and kinda ignorant statement. Kakarot has 4 different general combo enders, somewhat like Naruto's Storm series, where if you hold up, down, or left while doing a combo in the Storm games like Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, you get a different animation at the end of each combo, but it's not as flashy in Kakarot. Ending the combo with your corresponding key blast, dash, key charge, or attack button will give you a different combo ending animation. Kakarot does something really cool called the stun gauge. Once you decrease the stun gauge, the opponent will become stunned and unable to move for a period, and the word break will appear on the screen. This reminds me of some of my first and favorite RPGs. Yeah, y'all about to drag me for this one. Final Fantasy 13. In Final Fantasy 13, when you trigger a staggered state on enemies, then you can do massive amounts of damage and kind of combos. In Kakarot, this is where you get to see even more unique animations for all your favorite moves and characters. Example, this is how EX Spirit Bomb looks in game. And this is how it looks when you successfully stagger the opponent and then use EX Spirit Bomb again.
What have you done? Lend me your energy!
It rewards you for being good at the game and taking the time to learn how to break down enemies while having to see more to offer in the game. One of my favorite gameplay mechanics in Kakarot is the Surge, aka Awakening Intention Guard. Many people during the first week of the game didn't know that instead of getting just stronger attacks and doing more damage, that you can cancel super attacks and combos into other actions. This makes mob fights so easy to do because of how fast I can stack damage with Kamehameha canceling and helps with cow control during massive mob fights. Each character has personalized animation for each time they activate Tension Gauge. This goes for transformations as well, and it's super cool. The game evolves the idea of canceling everything even better when you get Kaioken and Super Saiyan. I can go even deeper into this. If you would like for me to go into an in-depth Kakarot gameplay guide, I would be down to do it in the future. Progression through Kakarot can be easy or very hard. Like I did some side quests during the main playthrough and was still under level almost by 10 when fighting Kid Buu at the end of the game. The bosses are easy if you like near level to them, but also if you're weaker, they will do massive amount of damage to you. You can pretty much beat every boss in the game if you know how to dodge a lot of the attack patterns. But if you want a real challenge, fight all the bosses without any healing items. Oh my god, this sounded like the most best decision I made playing the game for the first time until I got to the Android Saga. Some boss battles have attacks where they are easy to dodge by flying up or down. However, the controls are very confusing and frustrating to me. In the actual world, ascending is R1 and descending is R2, but moving in battle changes the ascending and descending controls, all with the control of the analog stick plus R2. This is very frustrating and sometimes very annoying when certain characters or enemies or bosses have the potential to hit you up and below and you can easily move down, but your brain is telling you one thing and the game wants you to do it another. The villainous enemies are tough. Like I even beat the game and I highly recommend that you be at least 5 to 10 levels stronger because woo child, these enemies will destroy you. Sometimes you actually run into them and other times you just avoid them altogether. Another thing I disliked are some of the side quests. Kakarot does commit one of my gaming sins, but not 100%. It's a pet peeve of mine, so you can just ignore this, but I dislike fetch quests. Many of the side quests are just go find this item, collect enough of it, and return the sender. However, when Goku learns instant transmission, it doesn't really make you backtrack anymore for a lot of side quests. So that's pretty good. I love the dialogue in the side quests. However, I wish instead of just doing just battle or just collect something, they would have incorporated mini games into the side quest. Also, you might see colorful orbs. Those orbs help you develop your character and unlock moves. To be honest, the orbs in games are really fun to collect because you have passageways, and flying at full speed, in my honest opinion, is pretty fun. It's like the same energy you get from just swinging around in the Spider-Man game. Who don't like that? But if you were just like, man, I'm not collecting no red ass gun drops, you could just use the Dragon Balls. They pretty much give you almost every type of orb in the game where you don't even have to go flying around and doing it. Also, another tip is just play the game. You playing the game, you will get orbs from each battle, each enemy over time anyway. So that's a way to bypass that if you don't want to do it. The most satisfying thing about Kakarot is upgrading your skill tree in this game. I don't know what was going on at CC2, but this was really fun. The more upgraded, the more cooler moves you unlock in different versions of them. You also have to use secret training grounds to unlock new moves as you progress as well. Everything is not unlocked via story mode, and that's cool. You also have community boards that help you do certain tasks at a higher rate. If you want more training stats and EXP filled out the board, if you want building parts for cars, fill out the board, and that's in the game as well. Like, come on. They get a W for putting the car scene from that filler episode as a mini game. That's all I'm gonna say. Just freaking out about that. The game gives you so many options to do things fast, quick, and easy while playing that nothing really feels like a task or a chore to do. Also, say if you miss a side quest, Kakarot just received an update after version 1.04 where you get access to a time machine, so you can go back in time and do side quests you may have missed. So don't worry about that until later, and don't feel bad if you just want to progress through the story. You can always go back to it later in Kakarot. Let's get to the big thing. Is it worth $60? What would you price this game as? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I would have dropped $60 for this game. The reason why is that I get so much playtime out of Kakarot. I'm still wanting to play Kakarot. Like, even as I'm working on this review, I spent an hour just playing Kakarot instead of working on the review. The game has at least up to 24 to 40 hours of playtime of gameplay. Some people can beat it in 15, but who knows? That's a lot of playtime for an anime game story mode already. That's almost longer than Xenoverse 2's, to be honest with you. Another thing that I like about it is that I beat the game and I am at level freaking 70. You want me to tell you what the final level of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is? 250, 240. Alright, bro. Do you know how much you have to do after this game? You got more side quests, you got some things to do. I'll show you about Bonya, the character that the Korea Toriyama worked on. Her boss battle was fire. I liked fighting her in the training grounds. She was pretty fun to me. I 100% recommend this game to get it. If you want to wait a month or two and get it for a cheaper price, that's even better. But you literally got the most next-gen Dragon Ball experience you can get, and you got literally another form or way of viewing the Dragon Ball Z storyline. I highly recommend this game. I love Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That being said, it does have its own issues where, like, yo, some cutscenes are missing, certain things are not really there, and they missed, like, I think a tournament. I don't remember, but who knows? They'll probably add that as DLC or something like that, or just additional content. The world may never know. But that being said, though, it is your boy Avataryaya. Follow me on Twitter at Avataryaya, capital T, capital V. And remember, you guys are golden, and that is raw. Squalla! Join my Discord again, and peace. I'm out.